Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Today's video we'll be looking at Heart Gold, Soul Silver up to the Dark Explorers deck. So that was a Celebi Mewtwo Tornadoes or Terrakion deck, whatever you want to call it, CMT. That was actually very popular back then. It is a deck that contains Mewtwo with the EX Ball. Mewtwo EX was the probably hottest card back then. It was the strongest thing in the next Destinies. With Electric, it was very powerful, even with that Celebi and Shaman. Later, when Darkrai came out, things was a little bit different. It was not that strong as it was. Mainly because Darkrai had minus 20 resistance, and there was Eviolite and many other things. And that's the reason why Mewtwo was not that good as it was. For example, also Hydreigon. There was so many ways to play back then Darkrai. Probably the best one was with, I should say, Terrakion as well, Mewtwo, and maybe Sableye. Anyways. One of my favorite this is probably my favorite format. If it is definitely the favorite and the best format. I mean, I can't say that the expanded format from the base set up to the Neo Destiny was also one of my favorite sets of all time, because I started to play TCG then, and I really heavily played back then, even competitive. But these days, I'm just, playing for fun, casually, and this is the format where I actually restarted to play again this game. So this deck contains basically 3 copies of Mewtwo EX, 1 Tornadoes, that's speaking about EX Pokemons, 3 Celebi Primes with the Forest Breath for that energy acceleration, 2 Smeargles with the Portrait, one of the best cards back then, better than Shaman, better than Tapu Lele, better than the Dean, better than Jirachi. It was so broken back then. That card was so damn good. You was allowed to use Portrait. If the Smeargle was your active Pokemon, you might look at your opponent hand and choose support a card that you find there and use it as the effect of this Pokepower. Plus, you could retreat and then use another one and then switch and attack, which was just way too strong. I mean, this deck had so many extra acceleration. Of course, 2 Terrakions would retaliate for the one-hit knockout against the Darkrai's, but also back then hitting for 90 with 2 energies was a big deal, especially for the 9GX attacking Pokemon. But hey, 4 retreat costs. Without switch, no chance to retreat that. And of course that Celebration with Shaman. Additionally, we have 4 copies of Dual Ball for the setup. Back then you have to flip a coin in order to search your deck for a basic Pokemon, good old days. Energy Retrieval, Energy Search as a tech, 4 copies of Junk Harm, 2 plus powers, 3 catchers, but you didn't need to flip a coin back then, 1 potion, 3 random receivers, 1 revive, 3 switches, 2 Sky Hour Bridges, and then of course 2 copies of Eviolite for damage reduction. Additionally, 1 copy of N, 3 copies of Professor Juniper, 4 copies of Professor Zoak's New Theory, and then 4 DCE, 3 Fighting, and 6 regular Grass Energies. So yeah, this is the deck list that I will use in today's video. If you already didn't, please consider subscribing to the channel for more videos, hitting also the thumbs up as well. So I'm ready to play this deck. Hopefully you're gonna enjoy watching the video, so stay tuned for the battle. Alright, so we are back with the Legacy format. Basically, the only way to play this deck is in Legacy format, unfortunately. This was a deck. Alright, let's see. Portrait, pretty much nothing. I can't even play support a card in the Legacy format. That's unique. Alright, two catchers. Still you have to flip a coin in order to use it. Grass energy. Guess I can go with energy attachment. A catcher, maybe for Magnemite. Grabbing Magnemite and knocking him out is better than Horsey. Magnezone is much more difficult, I guess. I'm gonna put Terrakion on the bench as well. Other than that, I can pass the turn. There's no point of retreating to Smeargle. I know that my opponent does not have supporter card in his hand, but he might get a Magnezone Prime with Magnetic Draw and then just simply use it into his advantage for some extra draw support. So meanwhile, there is another reversal. This time it is a tails and another one, and right now it is a heads, and he really wants to get as much cards as he can. So Terrakion with 4 retreat cost is way too much. Alright. So I guess I'm gonna see what I can find with random receiver. Professor Zook's new theory. Alright, might be a little bit better. Then what if I just try to grab a prize card here by taking this Tyroke? Let's see, Professor Zook's new theory. Can I get a switch? Not even close. Not even close. Well, that's fine. I'm gonna pass the turn. I was hoping maybe for a switch so I can switch and head for 30, which should be enough for the knockout and for the prize card. I mean, the most important thing is you can get a prize card, so we shall see 1 eek. As long as the Cleffa is asleep, I think I can't attack it. Yeah, you can prevent all damage done to it. So damage can be prevented in this case. Speaking about preventing the damage, energy attachment. I should go with a Junk Arm for my Mewtwo and a Dual Ball. So I'm gonna grab myself a random receiver, hopefully, well, and okay. Hopefully for that switch. But additionally, I also need catcher, so it's a little bit risky to use Portrait. So I'm just gonna pass the turn, because if you decide to use Portrait, you are actually forced to use it. So there's no way to get back after you used Portrait, and if your opponent have, for example, Juniper in its hand, so you're forced to discard your entire hand, and I really don't want to mess with discarding my double cores energies. I just simply want to knock the Magnezone out, maybe even with the Land Crash, because Power Blast not going to be enough for the knockout. It's only enough for 100 and maybe 10, 20. It actually depends on how many plus powers you can throw out in your discard pile. Technically, I can knock my opponent Magnezone out with 4 plus powers, but it's really difficult for me to do that. So yeah, Cleffa is still asleep, which is bad. It's really bad for me. So I will just try to... Nope. Okay. I'll just try to use Pont and see what can happen after that. Alright. Plus power, nope. Let's see what he have in his hand. He have Kingdra, Magnezone, Magnetone, Energy. Alright, so Kingdra should be in game next turn. Switch. We really don't need Switch. So what I'm gonna do right now is another Portrait play for another Professor Zook's new theory. And let me see if I can maybe find a switch and... Okay. I mean, there is a switch. The truth is, I have junk arm for a switch, but still I need to flip a heads on the coin flip and discard, for example, another hand for the catcher play, which is just way too risky. And I didn't even realize that my catchers are all in the discard pile. Back then, you didn't need to flip a coin in order to use catcher. Catcher was just, switch one of your opponent budget Pokemon with their active Pokemon, and catcher was way too broken. Okay, so once during a turn, you might put one damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon with Spray Splash. Dragon's team says that you can hit for 60, and if your opponent has any fire energy, this attack damage is 20 instead of the 60. So finally we can knock the Cleafa out. But before I decide to do that, I'm actually weak on fire, so... Actually, I'm weak on the lighting, so... Let me see something. Can I get heads on the coin flip? If yes, I will go for Magnezone knockout. Yep. Alright, so Land Crash should be enough for the knockout. Let's see what we can do with the portrait. Quick inspection of my opponent's hand. Sooner or later this Yanmega will start sniping my bench, and I really want to avoid that. So let's go with the Land Crash for 180, just because of the weakness on this Magnezone. Magnezone was actually really a huge threat for me, because it has... My Tornadoes actually has weakness on it, so he could simply knock me out with only 2 energy cards. So there is another reversal, which is good for my opponent, but what he will put in the active position, he decided to go with the Celebi, so I can still use Forest Breath. But the best thing is, I can use Kyra Bridge into my favor, so I think he probably made a mistake there. He should probably consider going with the Mewtwo instead, because Mewtwo have 2 retreat cost. The truth is I still play 4 DCEs, but you can't know that. And there's the Junk Arm. Alright. What he can grab with the Junk Arm? Maybe a rare candy. Seems reasonable. How many Junk Arms he used so far? Only 1 of them. So Tyro can snipe on the bench. Actually, no, it can't. Yeah, he managed to wake up. Thumbs up for that. That's the most important part here. One thing is for sure, I don't need Celebes. So I will try to flip another heads here. Otherwise, back then I didn't need to flip heads on a coin flip. This time it is a tails, which is a really bad thing. However, I can use Forest Breath, get one of the energies on the Mewtwo. Gamble one more time, trying to find a heads on the coin flip. I think I'm pretty much done with the resources at this point. Yep. Yeah, really limited with the resources right now. But at least I can knock the Tyrogue out with the X-Ball for 60. And I can take the prize card. Right now, there's even Energy Switch, which is a good thing. Right now, if he can somehow knocks me out with the Magnezone, I can respond back with my Terrakion, even with Retaliate and the Land Crash, so I have 2 attacking Pokemons ready. There's the huge Magnetic Draw up to 6. Still, Yanmega can return Knockout because of the weakness, and that's a really bad thing. And scary thing for me, my opponent used 4 reversals and only 1 Junk Arm. 2 Junk Arms so far. Alright, so he also have potential, let's say 2 of them. Okay, put all energy cards attached to the low zone. That's not that bad. There's the Judge, so we might even see a... We might actually see a knockout here. Yeah, it should be enough. Lost Burn should be enough for the knockout. With 4 energies, he can knock my Mewtwo out. I need Retaliate back, no doubt about it. So before I do that, I'm gonna keep Shaman for later. Right now I will see what I have left with the dual ball. If I can get heads and a coin flip, another Terrakion. Oof, there's no sign of the fighting energies in my deck. That's a little bit scary. That's the scary thing. Okay, switch, Rare Candy, Communication, Yanmega, and Yanma. So at least what I need to do is I need to have as much cards as I can in my hand so I can prevent my opponent from potentially so I will have 7 cards in my hand and he won't be able to use that Yanmega by any means. There's no doubt about it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he have like 5 cards in his hand. There's communication. So in order to use Insight, you need to have pretty much the same amount of the cards as your opponent in your hand. So there's the Rare Candy. There's another Kingdra. And there's the energy attachment and a spray splash times 2, so he can take the knockout against the Celebi on the bench. Oof, alright. That Kingdra is actually really tough opponent at this point. And there's the Eek. Okay, so Shocking Bolt can go for like 100. At his best. So what we want to do here is just pass the turn because, yeah, my opponent is a real lucky guy. There's no doubt about it. But still, I need to protect my Terrakion if it's possible by any means. I'm just going to use Portrait for communication. Yep. I don't know, I guess I can go with 1 energy attachment. Yeah, that's it. Shape might be good for that energy bloom sooner or later, but I'm very scared right now because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in my opponent's hand. He can't retreat. Okay, he can switch. And he can take the knockout. And then I somehow need to respond back with my Tornadoes. I'm going to be able to do that. He's definitely targeting my Sparkle, which is a good thing. This game is really tough. This game is really tough, and it's also very close. I can't knock the. I can't take the knockout here. Energy retrieval for sure. Oh, that was horrible misplay. I didn't even watch what I have left. That was horrible for sure. I can revive one of my Mewtwo's. I can random receiver into Johnny Purr, and I can energy switch. I can energy search. I really want to discard as many cards as I can. I use plus power, I guess. You know, really, I don't even remember if I used plus power. I think I did. Yes, I did. Okay, so everything is fine. Now, what about Pachirisu? Put all energy cards attached to Pachirisu. Okay, so technically he can hit for like 100. Oh, fighting energy. That's the good one. That's the energy I was looking for. Both down to 2 prize cards. I have 2 cards remaining. My opponent is down to like 8. So probably I'm just gonna deck out myself at this point. He can just tank if he wants. Yeah, I'm gonna lose because of I'm gonna miss all of the energy cards in my deck. Not energies, but resources. Choose one of your opponent. Okay, so he can linear attack for 40 and snipe the Smurgle on the bench for the knockout. And maybe prepare another knockout for the next turn. There's like a potion, but is it even worth to use it? I don't know. Yeah, I'm hitting just for like 100 at this moment. Is there anything that I don't see, maybe? He have for retreat, so I lost this game. Damn. Okay, I'm just gonna hit for 60. Doesn't matter too much. Technically, I could knock the Omega out. Oh my goodness, with my Mewtwo and the Shaman. I should just move all of the energies up to the Mewtwo and then just simply knock him out. And grab the prize card and then win the game. Why I didn't see... Ooh, there's the judge, but why in the world I didn't see that? So he actually gave me opportunity for the win here. Okay. He actually gave me the opportunity here to win this game. So I'm gonna potion. Yeah, should be enough, I guess. It's like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 120, 140. Yep. Should be enough. But what if I just decide to... He don't have reversal, but he might get one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 energies. I think that's enough for the win. It should be enough. Let's go with the X-Ball. Actually, I didn't count on that judge. If I was my opponent, I would probably just consider, oh, there's even a switch. That's even better. The only thing that can actually save him here is a Cleffa with the Eek. Otherwise, I don't see how he can actually win. Potentially, he can if he can snipe my bench. Let's say that. He can obviously snipe with the Kingdra twice, Tornadoes. And after that, he can hit for 40 with the Omega as well. It's all about the coin flip with the Eek. If it's a heads, then the game is over. But if it's a tails, it is a heads. That was one very close game. What was the last card in my deck? I really want to see it. It was a Fighting Energy card. So yeah, I can X-Ball and I can hit for like 180. Imagine hitting for 180 back then. It was just a pure miracle. But these days, you're hitting for 180 with just maybe 1 or 2 cards at its best. So there's the GG, my friends. I really hope you enjoy watching this intense battle until the end. Once again, there's the full deck list that I use in today's video. Definitely consider subscribing to the channel for more future videos. Hopefully you enjoy watching it. So yeah, that was one very, very nice battle until the last prize card. So yeah, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it. Till the next time, have a nice day and goodbye.